If you're anything like my colleagues and me, then your Gmail and your Google accounts are incredibly valuable and important. So, today we're going to spend some time walking through the Gmail and Google account settings to make sure your accounts are set up as securely and as privately as possible. To begin, scroll over to Gmail's dedicated settings page. You'll land in the General Settings tab, which is exactly where we'll start. The first thing you'll want to do is set it up so that Google will ask you before displaying external images in Gmail. The reason for this is that images can and have in the past been used by attackers to hide malware, steal cookie tracking data, infer IP address location, and more. Google claims it protects against these attacks. However, Google definitely won't protect you from accidentally opening emails with inappropriate images at inappropriate times. And despite their protection claims, which I trust to be true and reliable, it also just can't hurt to go ahead and approve images before they load. So make Google ask before loading images, and this way, you'll be extra cautious. You may also want to make it so that no one can email you through your Google Plus profile. We'll be making a super brief video on Google Plus security in the near future. So for now, all we'll say is that you should limit who can send you emails through your Google Plus account. No one would be able to see your email until you actually responded to an email that they sent to you. But not allowing anyone, or only allowing those in your circles, to send you emails through your Google Plus profile is probably the best choice you could make security and privacy-wise. At the very least, doing this will protect you from spam. Next, you should consider making your profile picture visible to only the people that you chat with. This, of course, depends largely on your personal preference and the picture you have chosen for your profile. But there's a good chance that you have a different level of familiarity with the people you chat with than you have with some of the people that you only email. In this way, you can keep the people you email but don't chat with from seeing your profile picture. This next step is an interesting one. You should change your preferences to opt out of interest-based ads on Google. You can find that in the row that says Important Signals for Ads. You'll have to do this in two categories, because Google breaks it down into the ads that you'll see while you're inside of Google accounts and services like Gmail and YouTube and Maps, and the Google ads that you're going to see across the web on various different websites. You'll want to go ahead and opt out of both of them. Opt out and opt out. So, to be very clear, you will still see ads. They just won't be tailored to you based on your search engine queries and other personal information. In other words, Google won't use the information they collect about you in order to target advertisements towards you based on your perceived interests. Now we're going to go back to the Accounts and Settings page. And we're going to go to the Accounts and Imports section. As you can see right here at the top, we have the option to change our password and change password recovery options, but we're actually just going to scroll over to the other Google account settings page where we can also find those same settings. Scroll over to the Security tab. As always, we're going to go ahead and change our password to something nice and strong. We want to make sure it's long and random and contains letters, numbers, symbols, spaces, and uppercases. So we enter our first password. And then we enter our new password. As always, you want to make sure that the password you're entering is not a password that you use for any other online site or service. Next, let's enable two-factor authentication. Doing so will require that you enter a one-time passcode each time you log into your Google account. That means you'll have to enter a password, then a one-time passcode that you will receive via text message. This makes it substantially harder for someone to break into your Google account. It's also a good thing, because if someone guesses or figures out your password and attempts to log into your account, you'll figure that out pretty quickly after receiving an unwanted two-factor code. So, you'll need to enter a phone that Google can send your codes to. You'll have to choose. You can choose between a text message or a voice call. Then Google will send you a verification code. Once you receive the code, you're obviously going to want to go ahead and enter it in the appropriate field and click Verify. You can choose to trust this computer if you'd like, which means each time you log in from this computer, you won't have to enter your two-factor code. Once you've made that decision, you can go ahead and confirm. From here, you can choose if you'd like to get codes through their mobile app. What this basically means is that instead of having a code sent via SMS to your mobile device, you can log on to your Gmail or Google application on your mobile phone and have that application generate the app itself. This works for Android, iPhone, and BlackBerry devices, and you don't necessarily have to be connected to the internet or have a phone or data connection to generate these codes. You can also set app-specific passwords, which will lock down your various Gmail apps on your different devices, and you can register more trusted computers so that you don't have to enter a two-factor authentication code whenever you log in from those computers. You also want to periodically check on your account activity. So you go to the Recent Activity box and you view all events. If everything looks normal, then you're fine. However, if you notice any unfamiliar activity, you should go ahead and change your password. You'll also want to keep an eye on the account permissions page. As you can see, we don't have any permissions granted for this Google account. However, if you do, and there's anything on this page that you don't recognize, then you should do a bit of research. Once you've done some research, if you're still seeing applications that are accessing your account and you don't know what they are or what they do, then you should revoke their access immediately. You may want to set up a secondary phone number. You already have the phone that you used to set up your second factor of authentication, but it can't hurt to have an extra phone number on there as well. Also, adding a recovery email address is a very good idea. In this way, if you ever lose access to your account, you can recover it through your second email address. Stay tuned for a follow-up to this video, where we'll talk about some Google features that didn't make the cut. As always, thanks for tuning in to this Kaspersky Daily Screencast.